Welcome to this week's edition of Confessions of a Fitness Professional. I'm your Fit Pro, Andra Anderson, and feeling like this is the perfect time to talk about what to do when you are feeling overwhelmed. Now, in the fitness profession, I think it would be easy to imagine or say that the time between the holidays and like the beginning of the new year, when everybody starts to set their resolutions, would be the most overwhelming time. But actually, it's usually in the fall when you're still trying to engage your clients, you're still trying to bring on new clients. Maybe the school year has started and things have started to settle down a little bit, but like schedules shift. It's one thing to get into this like flow state at the beginning of the year where lots of people are in that same frame of mind. It is so much harder and more overwhelming to be a fit pro when people's schedules are all wonky. Like summer, it's so hard to be a fit pro in the summer because clients cancel at the last minute. You're dealing with, if you're doing an outdoor event, you're dealing with weather, like things that you cannot control. You're dealing with people not showing. You're dealing with people popping in because they're in town. There's just so many different factors. But this goes above and beyond a fitness professional. So we all get overwhelmed, right? That's a kind of a universal thing for the most part. I don't want to make a sweeping generalization, but in general, I think many people find themselves overwhelmed, like just too many incoming tasks, too much to juggle, too much to manage. So what do you do? I see a lot of fitness professionals and gurus and behavior change specialists and wellness professionals say things like, well, just like take a vacation, take a break, take a walk. What about things that you can actually do? Let's outline. I'm confession, right? Confession, there are too many opinions on what to do when you feel overwhelmed or how to create the best wellness scenario for you. And the reality is, you feel overwhelmed. It's in your head, yes. But there seems like there's so much to manage that adding wellness, adding one more thing is like tips you over. Like that is it. Nope, that is the thing that will destroy me. You think now I have to add drinking water and being well to my checklist? Like forget it. I'm never doing those things. So what is actually manageable? What is something you are actually able to do? I tried really hard. I think I came up with 3 things. I have 5, but 2 of them are like part of that. I have a little bit more time and I don't have little people that I'm running after and chasing, children, but 3 I think are manageable for almost anybody. Let me know what you think. The first one, breathing, your breath. We take 1,000,000 breaths a day. Don't quote me, that's not scientific. I probably could figure out how many breaths you take a day, but you do it without thinking, right? You do it unconsciously. It just happens. It's routine. You breathe in, you breathe out. But for the most part, we're taking pretty shallow breaths. Ways that you know you're taking shallow breaths. Your head hurts, your chest hurts, you feel tired and fatigued, and maybe your sleep is like whatever, it's okay. Taking a deep breath brings in more oxygen to the entire body. It allows your head to be clearer. It allows for creativity. It keeps you moving forward. And you're already breathing all day. So why not take a moment, 2 minutes, 5 minutes if you can, and focus on your breath. The best breath, in my mind, the best breath is a belly breath. So you can even physically place your hands on your belly. Inhale to fill the belly with air, fill. Exhale to release, pressing belly button toward the spine, even shifting your hips forward slightly. Doing just a minute of that, 2 minutes of that a day, or whenever you can, whenever you feel overwhelmed, you're gonna feel lighter, you're gonna have better perspective, your head will stop hurting, you're gonna allow for more creativity and more space in your head. Think of it this way: bigger breath allows for more space in your mind and in your body. Bigger breath, better. Now you can get all kinds of fancy with different kinds of breaths, and I do have on my YouTube page and probably somewhere on Facebook, you can find the 4-7-8 breath, the nostril breathing, the bee, like buzzing breath meditation. All of those things are available for you. Go ahead, go check them out on YouTube. But really, set a timer for 60 minutes, or even just give yourself 5 breaths if setting a timer is just too much. Inhale to fill the belly, exhale, press the belly button toward the spine, but take your time. Take your time. You'll start to notice you're releasing tension next to the jawline and the neck and the shoulders. Your chest will stand a little taller. You'll feel a little better. Your head won't feel as stuffy. You won't feel as tired, lethargic. You might even stand a little bit taller. So give yourself that belly breath time. You're breathing anyway. You're already breathing. 5 breaths, 60 seconds, whatever you can potentially manage in that moment when you're feeling overwhelmed, or honestly, it's just a good practice to get into every day as your life allows. But again, remember, you gotta breathe anyway. You might as well try to breathe this way, right? Pretty good so far? All right, another thing to do when you're feeling overwhelmed, this is my go-to, this is my favorite because this is how my brain works. Do a brain dump list. Take out a piece of paper or your phone if you love the thumbs, or your computer. Just start writing all of the things that are in your head, all of the things that are cluttering up your mind space, everything that you think is on your to-do list, your task list, all those things. Don't worry about it being spelled correctly. Don't worry about capitalizing letters. Don't worry about a pretty format. Just get it on paper. Get it on paper, get it on the computer, get it on the screen. Dump, 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 dump. All the things that you are thinking in your head, just get them down. I love to use the Notes app in my phone or on my computer. My notes are literally my life story. It's a brain dump of everything. And it doesn't have to just be your to-do list of the day. It could be like, oh my gosh, remember to start sending thank you cards. Things like that, that you just randomly think about. Give yourself the space. Set a timer for 60 seconds. Set a timer for 2 minutes. If you can allow yourself 5 minutes, and just start dumping. The first things that come into your head, dump them onto paper. Sometimes visually seeing it on the screen or on paper can help us to organize our thoughts, and in turn will make us feel a little less overwhelmed. Like, I know you can be more whelmed, and I know you can be overwhelmed. I know you can be underwhelmed, but can you ever just be whelmed? Yes, you can if you start brain dumping. Brain dump, get it all out. I love to do it when I first feel overwhelmed, because I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what to manage. Because you know that feeling where you're so overwhelmed that you just can't think of the next best thing to do, or you can't even wrap your mind around what is the priority or what is most important, because at the moment, everything seems like a priority, which is false. It's a little trick that our minds play on us, that everything's a priority when truly nothing really is, right? That's a bonus one. We'll come back to that. Anything that you have to do, anything that's in your headspace, boom, it goes on that brain dump list. And what you do with that next is up to you. Sometimes just the act of getting it from your head onto the screen or onto paper is enough to make the load feel so much lighter, and you're like, okay, I actually have a grip on this. Totally can do everything. Sometimes it's a great way to just start organizing. So if you've got it on the screen, maybe you cut and paste, put it around, add some bullet points, or I love on the notes feature, you can have the little circles that you can check off when you're done. If it's on a piece of physical paper, maybe you highlight or underline or star with a different color, whatever helps your brain organize it best. If you are an Enneagram Type 3, you're probably gonna take that list and then make a prettier one and then throw the gross list away. Like, I know, I see you. I know you're gonna do that. Whatever makes it easier for you to get to the next step. But brain dumping is gonna really alleviate a lot of tension and stress and give you perspective on what is actually important, what is actually a real thought, what is something that I need to do at this moment or next. Brain dumping. It's amazing. Okay, this third one is kind of related, so maybe this is cheating, but this is my third tip that I think is universal, anybody can do. From that brain dump list, choose an easy win. What is something that you can do in 5 minutes or fewer and get it done? And make yourself have that moment, that dopamine, that I did it, that feeling of accomplishment. What is something that you can cross off that brain dump list or your to-do list in under 5 minutes to make yourself feel better? I call it the easy win. What is the easy win? Okay, maybe it came from that brain dump list, or maybe it came from a separate list, a to-do list, a running to-do list. I have so many running to-do lists in my notes that I can't even call them to do anymore. Sometimes it's like to do 2 or to do Tuesday or to do 9:25. So many of those to-do lists. I need to consolidate them for sure. That's in my brain dump list. But what is something that can allow you to have an easy win? 5 minutes or fewer that you can just check off that list. That's gonna bring that surge of dopamine, that's gonna bring that sense of accomplishment and allow you to feel a little less overwhelmed. A little bit, maybe not all the way, but like a little bit better. And really, anything we can do to feel just a little less overwhelmed is a total win. Those are my 3, I think many people can do them, things. Focus on the breath, do a brain dump, look for that easy win. Now, if you have a little more time, or you can give yourself, take back a little more time, I have 2 more. 1, this almost always without fail works for me. Take a walk. It doesn't have to be a mile. It doesn't even have to be 10 minutes. It could be a 5-minute walk down the hallway and back. Physically removing yourself from the stressful work environment can bring perspective, it can bring creativity, and your physical movement does the same thing. So allowing yourself that space away. I keep reading things that say, make sure you get 20 minutes of alone time for lunch every day. I don't know about you, but that is super unrealistic in my profession. You don't get 20 minutes to yourself throughout the day. I mean, yes. Okay, let me rephrase that. Yeah, I could create those 20 minutes in the day, but doing that forces me to push kids away. And kids have different schedules too. There's limited times they can come and see me, and I need to help a ton of kids. So it's unrealistic of me to have 20 uninterrupted minutes of lunch to eat mindfully. In an ideal world, in the summer, yep, totally happens. But in the thick of working, for the most part, that's unrealistic. But I can take a walk around the building. I can close my door for a second, be right back on the door, take a walk around the building and come right back. Maybe that would take 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on who I see when I'm on my little walk. But allowing yourself that opportunity, that space to just push away is totally gonna make the difference if you have it, if you can give that to yourself. This next one's a little longer. Close your eyes. Or if you're able, depending on your work situation or non-work situation, take a short nap. Things almost always seem better after a short nap. You're either hungry or you're tired. Think like a baby. When you're feeling overwhelmed, you're probably hungry or you're tired. If you don't have time for a nap, see if you're hungry. Nibble on a little snack. If you do have time in your world, again, I do not have time in my world during the week, but if you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe shutting your eyes, allowing yourself to be in a space that's a little bit darker, and just power napping for, I feel like the timing for power naps always change, but I would do 20 minutes or so. If you're able to do that. Again, that you might be like, Andra, that is super unrealistic, but cute idea. I feel that. I feel that way about a lot of wellness tips that come our way. And I'm a wellness guru. I love creating an alignment, creating a balance, all of those things. But there are things that I'm like, I love this stuff and I geek out over it, and I don't have time to do that, and I won't make time to do that. So those are super, super, super bonus times. Okay, the overarching thing, like the thing that I wanted to come back to from the easy win, is that we often overcomplicate things ourselves. So remember that when you're feeling overwhelmed, it is most likely something you've constructed in your own mind. And that can be difficult to realize or cope with. But once you start to realize that it's me, I'm the problem, I mean, it's you, you're the problem, things can get a little bit lighter and a little bit better as well. And you'll stop seeing it as being overwhelmed and seeing it as being really full, like having a full plate. And then using that to allow yourself to stop accepting new work, to have realistic conversations at work about what you should and should not be handling. And overall, that's going to make your workload a little bit more manageable. But that's a conversation for another day. That's a confession for another day. Just wanted to put that out there. So here we have 3, what I hope are somewhat easy, doable tips, and 2 moderately doable tips depending on your situation, your work life, where you work, what you do, all of those different things. Now I recognize that this is not true across the board. In some jobs, you don't have a moment to yourself. You have you're in a responder situation where you are at the mercy of whatever comes through the phone or the walkie-talkie or your doors. I respect that. I get that. And, I hope that you're able to give yourself the opportunity to reflect a little or give yourself some perspective. And I hope it's not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because then maybe we need to look for another job, unless you really love it. Totally different. Okay, so that's my confession for the week. If you have any wellness tips that you would love to share with others, or things that you found that have worked really well for you, please share that stuff. That is a confession we share. We don't keep that information to ourselves, because you could be helping somebody else get through and manage their overwhelming life. All right, I will see you for another confession very soon, and take care of yourself. Bye.